Deep in the annals of time, long before the pyramids pierced the sky, there existed a period shrouded in mystery and wonder. We journey back to the land of the Nile, thousands of years before the rise of the first dynasty, to a time known as Predynastic Egypt. From roughly 6000 to 3150 BC, this era witnessed the birth of Egyptian civilization, a period of profound cultural and technological advancements. Imagine a land untouched by the grandeur of the later dynasties, a time when small villages dotted the Nile Valley. The Nile, the lifeblood of Egypt, played a pivotal role in shaping their destiny, providing fertile land for cultivation and a vital artery for trade and communication. Predynastic Egypt, often overlooked in favour of its more illustrious successors, holds the key to understanding the very essence of ancient Egyptian civilization. It was during this formative period that many of the hallmarks of Egyptian culture first emerged, from their distinctive artistic styles to their complex religious beliefs. Their innovations in agriculture, their mastery of craft, and their early forays into social organization laid the foundation for the rise of one of the most enduring and influential civilizations the world has ever known. The legacy of pre-dynastic Egypt is not merely confined to dusty artifacts and crumbling ruins. It is a testament to the enduring power of human ingenuity. From the humble farmers and artisans to the powerful chieftains who shaped the destiny of their people, we will uncover the stories that illuminate the dawn of Egyptian civilization. Our journey into pre-dynastic Egypt begins with the Badarian culture, a people who inhabited the fertile plains of Upper Egypt from around 4500 to 4000 BC. Named after the archaeological site of El-Badari, where their remains were first unearthed, the Badarian people represent one of the earliest identifiable cultures in this ancient land. These were skilled farmers, cultivating crops such as wheat and barley along the banks of the Nile, their lives intertwined with the ebb and flow of the great river. Their pottery in particular stands as a testament to their artistic skills and technological prowess. The Badarian people are known for their distinctive black-topped pottery, a hallmark of their culture that has captivated archaeologists and art historians alike. These finely made vessels, often adorned with intricate incised decorations, were not merely utilitarian objects. They were expressions of artistry and craftsmanship. The black-topped finish, achieved through a meticulous process of firing and burnishing, created a striking contrast against the reddish-brown clay, showcasing their technical ingenuity. This trade, likely involving goods such as obsidian, precious stones, and perhaps even ideas, highlights their connection to the wider world and their role in shaping the cultural landscape of pre-dynastic Egypt. Life and death in the Badarian world offer us fascinating insights into their belief systems. They carefully buried their dead in shallow graves, often in a contracted position, accompanied by grave goods such as pottery vessels, cosmetic palettes, and personal ornaments. These offerings, intended to accompany the deceased into the afterlife, reflect their belief in a continued existence beyond the realm of the living. The presence of cosmetics suggests a desire to maintain one's appearance even in death, while the inclusion of food and drink points to a belief in the need for sustenance in the afterlife. These early expressions of social differentiation foreshadow the complex social structures that would characterize later Egyptian society. As we delve deeper into pre-dynastic Egypt, we encounter the Naqada culture, named after the modern city of Naqada, where their remains were first discovered. Flourishing from approximately 4000 to 3000 BC, the Naqada period witnessed a significant expansion in population, territory and cultural sophistication. The Naqada people, building upon the foundations laid by their predecessors, ushered in an era of unprecedented unity and prosperity. This increased interaction fostered cultural exchange and led to the development of a more homogeneous society, paving the way for the emergence of a unified Egyptian state. The Naqada period witnessed a remarkable flourishing of art and craftsmanship, evident in their exquisitely crafted pottery, intricate jewellery and elaborate cosmetics. Naqada pottery, distinct from its Badarian predecessor, featured a wider range of shapes and sizes, often adorned with elaborate painted decorations. These paintings offer a glimpse into their daily lives, depicting scenes of hunting, fishing, religious rituals, and even warfare. The discovery of copper tools and weapons signifies a shift towards more advanced technologies and the growing importance of warfare in their society. The seeds of complexity, social hierarchy and the rise of elites. As the Naqada culture flourished, so too did the complexities of their social structure. Evidence suggests a growing disparity in wealth and status, with an elite class emerging to dominate the social hierarchy. This is reflected in the increasingly elaborate burials of this period, with some individuals interred in large mud-brick tombs, accompanied by a wealth of grave goods. This disparity in burial practices points to a growing social stratification and the emergence of a powerful ruling class who controlled resources and commanded authority. The seeds of complexity sown during the Naqada era would blossom into the sophisticated political and social structures that characterized ancient Egyptian civilization for centuries to come. Monuments in the making, early tombs and their significance. The sands of time whisper tales of ancient rituals and beliefs, and nowhere is this more evident than in the tombs of Predynastic Egypt. Unlike the shallow pit graves of the earlier Badarian period, Naqada tombs began to display a greater degree of architectural complexity. Constructed from mud brick, these tombs often featured multiple chambers, providing ample space for the deceased and their funerary offerings. The inclusion of personal belongings, pottery and food offerings within these tombs speaks volumes about their beliefs in the afterlife. These early tombs, therefore, serve as tangible expressions of their evolving cosmology and their reverence for the dead. Settlements of the soul, exploring pre-dynastic villages and homes. Beyond the realm of the dead, the settlements of the living provide further insights into the social fabric and daily lives of pre-dynastic Egyptians. Clustered along the banks of the Nile, these villages, often fortified for protection, served as hubs of agricultural activity and community life. Crafted from mud brick, the houses of this era, though simple in design, reveal a remarkable degree of practicality and resourcefulness. These settlements offer a glimpse into the social dynamics, economic activities and domestic routines that shaped the lives of these early Egyptians. The Nile, the lifeblood of Egypt, flowed through the heart of the land, shaping not only its geography but also its destiny. This mighty river, originating in the heart of Africa, carved its way northwards, dividing the land into two distinct regions, Upper and Lower Egypt. Upper Egypt, encompassing the narrow Nile Valley stretching from modern-day Aswan to Cairo, was a land of rugged cliffs, fertile floodplains, and close proximity to the desert. Lower Egypt, in contrast, encompassed the sprawling Nile Delta, where the river fanned out into a network of channels before emptying into the Mediterranean Sea. Despite their geographical and cultural distinctions, Upper and Lower Egypt were inextricably linked by the Nile. This interconnectedness fostered cultural exchange and laid the groundwork for the eventual unification of the two lands under a single ruler. Upper Egypt, often referred to as Tashemau, meaning land of reeds or land of the south, was characterized by its rugged terrain and its reliance on the annual flooding of the Nile for agriculture. The rich black silt deposited by the receding floodwaters known as Kemet gave the land its fertility and earned Egypt its ancient name, Kemet, the Black Land. The people of Upper Egypt developed a deep reverence for the Nile, recognizing its life-giving properties and its central role in their cosmology. This artistic tradition, evident in their pottery, rock art, and early forms of hieroglyphic writing, reflects their connection to their environment and their unique cultural identity. Lower Egypt, known as Tamehu, meaning land of the north, stood in stark contrast to its southern counterpart. The Nile Delta, a vast expanse of fertile land crisscrossed by a network of canals and lagoons, offered abundant resources and a more temperate climate. This region, open to the Mediterranean Sea, became a melting pot of cultures, influenced by trade and interactions with neighbouring civilizations. The people of Lower Egypt, surrounded by water, developed a close relationship with the sea and its bounty. The fertile lands of Lower Egypt supported a denser population compared to the south, leading to the development of larger settlements and more complex social structures. The abundance of resources and the opportunities for trade fostered economic prosperity and cultural exchange, making Lower Egypt a hub of innovation and artistic expression. Among the many artifacts unearthed from the sands of time, few hold the historical weight of the Narmer palette. This intricately carved stone slab, dating back to around 3100 BC, provides a tangible link between pre-dynastic Egypt and the dawn of the First Dynasty. On its surface, the palette depicts a king, widely believed to be Narmer, wearing the white crown of Upper Egypt and, in another scene, the red crown of Lower Egypt. This dual depiction is highly significant, suggesting Narmer's role in unifying the two lands under his rule, marking a pivotal moment in Egyptian history. Beyond its political implications, the Narmer palette offers valuable insights into the artistic conventions and religious beliefs of the time. The figures are depicted in a distinctive style, with exaggerated proportions and a profile view, a hallmark of Egyptian art that would endure for centuries. The presence of mythical creatures, such as intertwined serpents and a bull trampling its enemies, hints at the developing religious beliefs of the period, with animals playing a prominent role in their cosmology. This artifact, therefore, serves as a window into a pivotal moment in Egyptian history, capturing the essence of a society on the cusp of a new era. Predynastic Egypt's ingenuity and resilience laid the groundwork for one of history's most enduring civilizations. From Badarian culture to Naqada societies, their innovations in agriculture, pottery and metalworking paved the way for the pharaohs. Their legacy is a testament to human creativity, shaping the course of history. Predynastic Egypt, often shrouded in mystery, laid the foundation for a great civilization. From humble farmers to skilled artisans, their innovations echo through time. They transformed the landscape into a cradle of civilization. Their legacy is a testament to human ingenuity and resilience. As we marvel at ancient Egypt, remember those pioneers. Deep in the heart of the Sinai Peninsula, amidst a rugged and unforgiving landscape, rises a mountain shrouded in mystery and legend. This is a place where the harshness of the desert meets the sublime beauty of nature, creating a setting that feels both timeless and otherworldly. Mount Sinai, known also as JBLMWS, Jabal Musa, in Arabic meaning Moses' mountain, has captivated the hearts and minds of people for millennia. It is a site of profound historical and spiritual significance, revered by multiple faiths and cultures. Its towering peaks and desolate beauty whisper tales of ancient prophets and divine encounters. The mountain stands as a silent witness to the passage of time, its rugged slopes etched with the stories of those who have come seeking answers and enlightenment. The very air around Mount Sinai seems to crackle with an unseen energy, a palpable sense of the sacred that has drawn pilgrims and seekers for centuries. Each step taken on its ancient paths feels like a journey through history, a connection to something greater than oneself. The silence of the desert, broken only by the wind whistling through the canyons, invites contemplation and introspection. It is a silence that speaks volumes, offering a space for reflection and a deeper understanding of one's place in the universe. It is a place where the veil between the earthly and the divine feels thin, where the echoes of ancient events still reverberate through the ages. The ancient ruins and relics scattered across the mountains serve as a testament to its enduring significance, a reminder of the countless souls who have been touched by its mystique. The history of Mount Sinai stretches back through the mists of time, intertwined with the very fabric of human civilization. The earliest mention of the mountain can be traced back to ancient Egyptian texts, where it was known as the Mountain of the Moon. The Egyptians believed that the goddess Hathor, the deity of love, beauty, music, dancing, fertility and joy, resided on the mountain. They mined turquoise in the area and built temples at its base, evidence of their deep reverence for this sacred place. The legacy of their presence can still be seen today in the ruins and artifacts scattered across the landscape. Mount Sinai holds a unique place in the history of the world's great Abrahamic religions. For Jews, Christians and Muslims alike, it is revered as the site where Moses received the Ten Commandments from God. This pivotal event, recounted in the book of Exodus, forever linked Mount Sinai with divine revelation and the establishment of moral law. For Christians, Mount Sinai represents the tangible manifestation of God's covenant with his people. It symbolizes the meeting point between heaven and earth, a place where the divine will was made known to humanity. Muslims too revere Moses as a prophet and recognize the importance of Mount Sinai in his story. Over the centuries, Mount Sinai has become a tapestry woven with the threads of different cultures and beliefs. This sacred mountain stands as a testament to the rich history and spiritual significance that it holds for so many people around the world. Bedouin tribes, who have called the Sinai Desert home for generations, have their own stories and traditions associated with the mountain. These nomadic people have passed down their legends and customs through countless generations, each adding their own layer to the mountain's mystique. They believe that the mountain is inhabited by jinn or spirits and treat it with respect and reverence. The Bedouins' rituals and practices are deeply intertwined with the natural landscape, reflecting a profound connection to the earth and the unseen forces they believe dwell within it. For many, a visit to Mount Sinai is a deeply spiritual experience, a pilgrimage to a place where they can connect with the divine and reflect on the deeper meaning of life. Pilgrims from various faiths come here seeking solace, enlightenment, and a sense of peace that only such a sacred site can provide. The mountain has a way of stripping away the superficial and revealing the raw essence of the human spirit. In the quiet moments at the summit, one can feel a profound sense of clarity and purpose, as if the mountain itself whispers ancient truths to those who are willing to listen. Beyond its religious and historical significance, Mount Sinai is also home to a surprising array of natural wonders. Hidden within its canyons and valleys are ancient rock formations, secret springs, and a diverse range of plant and animal life. The mountain is a haven for ibexes, gazelles, and other desert creatures that have adapted to its harsh conditions. In an age of globalization and technological advancement, it is easy to feel disconnected from the natural world and the spiritual dimensions of life. Yet, Mount Sinai stands as a timeless reminder of the enduring power of faith, the beauty of the natural world, and the interconnectedness of all things. Whether one is drawn to Mount Sinai for its religious significance, its historical legacy, or simply its raw natural beauty, the mountain has a way of leaving an indelible mark on the soul. It is a place that challenges, inspires, and ultimately transforms. The traditional pilgrimage to the summit of Mount Sinai is a challenging but rewarding experience. There are two main routes to the top. The longer and more gradual ascent is via the Camel Trail, a winding path that can be traversed on foot or by camel. The more challenging but quicker route is the Steps of Repentance, a steep staircase of over 3,750 steps carved into the mountainside by a repentant monk. The ascent is usually made at night to avoid the scorching heat of the day and to reach the summit in time for sunrise. At the summit of Mount Sinai lies St. Catherine's Monastery, one of the oldest continuously operating Christian monasteries in the world. Founded in the 6th century AD, the monastery is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and houses a treasure trove of religious art, manuscripts and icons. The monastery's library is renowned for its collection of ancient texts, including the Codex Sinaiticus, one of the oldest surviving manuscripts of the Bible. The monastery is a testament to the enduring power of faith and the human spirit's ability to thrive in even the harshest of environments. Mount Sinai stands as a timeless symbol of faith, history, and natural wonder. For millennia, its towering peaks have drawn pilgrims, adventurers, and seekers from all over the world. Its story is interwoven with the very fabric of human civilization, and its legacy continues to inspire and intrigue us today. As long as humans gaze up at the stars and ponder the mysteries of life, Mount Sinai will continue to hold a special place in our hearts and imaginations. It is a place where the veil between heaven and earth feels thin, where the whispers of the divine can still be heard in the wind. Cleopatra VII was born in 69 BC, the daughter of Ptolemy XIV Auletes, the pharaoh of Egypt. Her family, the Ptolemies, were of Macedonian Greek origin, descendants of one of Alexander the Great's generals. Despite their heritage, the Ptolemies embraced Egyptian culture, and Cleopatra, unlike many of her predecessors, learned the Egyptian language and customs. Cleopatra ascended to the throne in 51 BC at the age of 18, ruling jointly with her younger brother Ptolemy XIII. However, the young queen's reign began amidst political turmoil. Egypt was a wealthy prize, coveted by Rome, the rising power in the Mediterranean. Cleopatra's early years on the throne were marked by power struggles with her brother and his advisors. The young queen, however, possessed a sharp intellect and a keen understanding of politics. She was determined to secure her position and restore Egypt to its former glory. The joint rule of Cleopatra and Ptolemy XIII was fraught with tension. The young pharaoh's advisors, particularly the eunuch Pothinus and the general Achillas, sought to sideline Cleopatra and consolidate their own power. In 48 BC, they succeeded in forcing Cleopatra from Alexandria, the capital of Egypt. Exiled and facing the loss of her throne, Cleopatra refused to accept defeat. She gathered an army in southern Egypt, determined to reclaim her birthright. Meanwhile, a new player entered the Egyptian stage. Julius Caesar, the powerful Roman general, arrived in Alexandria, pursuing his rival Pompey the Great. Cleopatra saw an opportunity in Caesar's arrival. She famously smuggled herself into Alexandria, reportedly hidden in a rug, to plead her case directly to the Roman general. Caesar, impressed by her intelligence and charisma, agreed to support her claim to the throne. Caesar's intervention in Egyptian affairs led to a brief but fierce conflict known as the Alexandrian War. Caesar, with Cleopatra's forces, faced the army of Ptolemy XIII. The war culminated in a decisive battle on the Nile River, where Ptolemy's forces were routed, and the young pharaoh himself drowned while trying to escape. With her enemies vanquished, Cleopatra was restored to the throne, now ruling jointly with her even younger brother, Ptolemy XIV. However, it was clear that Cleopatra was the true power in Egypt, her position secured by the presence of Caesar and his legions. Caesar remained in Egypt for several months, captivated by Cleopatra's intelligence and charm. Their relationship, both political and personal, would have profound consequences for both Egypt and Rome. In 47 BC, Cleopatra gave birth to a son, Ptolemy Caesar, known to history as Caesarion, widely believed to be Caesar's son. Cleopatra's relationship with Caesar was multifaceted. It was a strategic alliance, securing her position on the throne and providing her with the backing of the most powerful man in the Roman world. Caesar, in turn, benefited from Egypt's wealth and resources, crucial for his ongoing campaigns. Beyond politics, however, their relationship was also one of mutual attraction and intellectual companionship. Cleopatra, fluent in several languages and well-versed in philosophy and the arts, was a captivating conversationalist. Caesar, for his part, was drawn to her intelligence, ambition, and regal bearing. Their affair caused a scandal in Rome, where Caesar's enemies seized upon it as evidence of his growing ambition and disregard for Roman tradition. Cleopatra, however, remained unfazed by Roman gossip. She accompanied Caesar to Rome in 46 BC, where she was received with a mixture of curiosity and disapproval. Section 5. The Queen and the General. Cleopatra and Mark Antony. After Caesar's assassination in 44 BC, Cleopatra returned to Egypt. The Roman Republic was plunged into civil war, and Cleopatra carefully watched the unfolding events. She knew that Egypt's fate was closely tied to the outcome of the Roman power struggle. One of the key figures in the post-Caesar Roman world was Mark Antony, Caesar's close friend and loyal general. In 41 BC, Antony summoned Cleopatra to Tarsus in modern-day Turkey to answer for her alleged support of his enemies. Cleopatra, ever the strategist, saw this as an opportunity to forge a new alliance with a powerful Roman leader. She arrived in Tarsus in grand style, sailing up the Cydnus River on a lavishly decorated barge, dressed as the goddess Aphrodite. Antony, known for his love of luxury and spectacle, was completely captivated. Section 6. The Eastern Dream, Cleopatra and Antony's Ambitions. Cleopatra and Antony's relationship quickly blossomed into both a passionate love affair and a strategic alliance. They shared a vision of a powerful Eastern empire with Egypt at its heart, challenging the dominance of Rome. Cleopatra provided Antony with financial and military support, crucial for his campaigns against Caesar's assassins and his rivals for power in Rome. Their alliance, however, was viewed with suspicion and hostility in Rome. Antony's enemies portrayed Cleopatra as a manipulative seductress, bent on ensnaring him and using him to further her own ambitions. Antony's public pronouncements, including his decision to bestow upon Cleopatra and their children territories in the east, further fueled these suspicions. Despite the growing opposition in Rome, Cleopatra and Antony continued to consolidate their power in the east. Cleopatra bore Antony 3 children twins, Alexander Helios and Cleopatra Selina, and another son, Ptolemy Philadelphus. While Cleopatra and Antony were building their power base in the east, a new threat was emerging in Rome. Octavian, Caesar's great-nephew and adopted heir, was steadily consolidating his own power. Octavian, a shrewd politician and a ruthless strategist, skillfully exploited Roman anxieties about Antony's relationship with Cleopatra and his perceived Easternization. He presented himself as the defender of Roman tradition and virtue, portraying Antony as a traitor, bewitched by a foreign queen. The conflict between Antony and Octavian escalated into open warfare in 32 BC. Octavian declared war on Cleopatra, skillfully framing the conflict as a war against a foreign enemy rather than a civil war against a fellow Roman. The decisive clash between the forces of Cleopatra and Antony and those of Octavian took place in 31 BC at the Battle of Actium, off the western coast of Greece. The battle was a naval engagement, and despite having a larger fleet, Cleopatra and Antony were decisively defeated. The reasons for their defeat were complex. Antony's forces were plagued by desertions, and his battle plans were hampered by indecision and delays. Cleopatra's fleet, while powerful, was ultimately outmaneuvered by Octavian's admiral, Agrippa. The defeat at Actium was a disaster for Cleopatra and Antony. They managed to escape to Egypt, but their forces were shattered, and their dreams of an Eastern empire lay in ruins. Octavian, triumphant, prepared to deliver the final blow. In 30 BC, Octavian's forces invaded Egypt, meeting little resistance. Antony, facing defeat and despair, committed suicide. Cleopatra, unwilling to be paraded through the streets of Rome as a captive in Octavian's triumph, also chose to end her own life. The exact circumstances of Cleopatra's death are shrouded in mystery and legend. The most famous account claims that she died from a venomous snakebite, allowing an asp to bite her. Other accounts suggest she may have used a poisoned hairpin or other means. Regardless of the method, Cleopatra's death on August 12, 30 BC, marked the end of the Ptolemaic dynasty and the absorption of Egypt into the Roman Empire. Octavian, now the undisputed master of the Roman world, had achieved his goal, but at a high cost. Cleopatra, in death, had denied him the ultimate victory of capturing her alive. Her legend, however, would live on, ensuring her place in history as one of the most captivating and controversial figures of the ancient world. Cleopatra's story has captivated imaginations for centuries. She has been the subject of countless works of art, literature and film, her image transformed and reinterpreted through the lens of different cultures and historical periods. Was she a ruthless seductress who used her charms to manipulate powerful men, or a shrewd and capable ruler who fought to preserve her kingdom in a time of turmoil? The truth, as is often the case with historical figures, likely lies somewhere in between these extremes. Cleopatra's legacy is complex and multifaceted. She was the last pharaoh of Egypt, a queen who navigated the treacherous waters of Roman politics with intelligence and determination. She was a lover, a mother, and a ruler who left an indelible mark on history. Her story, a blend of political intrigue, passionate romance, and ultimate tragedy, continues to fascinate and inspire, ensuring that Cleopatra's legend will endure for generations to come. Thebes, the heart of ancient Egypt. Nestled on the banks of the Nile, Thebes was more than just a city. It was the beating heart of a civilization, showcasing human ambition, faith, and artistry. Join us as we uncover the rich history and significance of this ancient city, exploring its grand temples, its royal tombs, and its pivotal role in shaping the story of ancient Egypt. Thebes, even in its ruined state, whispers of a time when it was the religious epicenter of ancient Egypt, particularly during the powerful New Kingdom. Imagine a city alive with the sound of priestly chants, the air thick with the scent of incense burning in honor of Amun-Ra, the king of the gods. Here, within the colossal Karnak temple complex, the Egyptians paid homage to their deities in ceremonies of unparalleled grandeur. The temple, a sprawling testament to their faith, grew over centuries, each pharaoh adding his own mark to this sacred landscape. Luxor Temple, bathed in the golden glow of the setting sun, was a place for ordinary Egyptians to connect with the divine. Together, these two temples formed the spiritual heart of Thebes, a place where the earthly and the divine intertwined. The ancient Egyptians believed in a life after death, a belief reflected in the grandeur of their tombs. Just across the Nile, on the west bank, lies the Theban necropolis, a city of the dead as magnificent as the city of the living. Here, in the Valley of the Kings and the Valley of the Queens, pharaohs and their consorts were laid to rest, surrounded by treasures they believed would accompany them into the afterlife. The tomb of Tutankhamun, a relatively minor pharaoh, yielded a treasure trove of artifacts that captivated the world's imagination. But perhaps even more impressive are the elaborate tombs of rulers like Seti I and Ramses VI, their walls adorned with vibrant scenes from the Book of the Dead. Dotting the landscape are the mortuary temples, grand structures built not for the dead but for their memory. These temples, along with the royal tombs, stand as silent sentinels, guarding the secrets of Egypt's past. For centuries, Thebes was more than just a religious center. It was the vibrant heart of a nation, the capital of a mighty empire. Imagine the bustling streets of Thebes during its zenith, a time when it was known as the City of 100 Gates. Thebes' rise to prominence began during the Middle Kingdom, when Mentuhotep II reunited the two lands after a period of division. He moved the capital to Thebes, laying the foundation for its future glory. But it was during the New Kingdom that Thebes truly flourished, reaching the pinnacle of its power and influence. Under the rule of powerful pharaohs like Thutmose III and Amenhotep III, Thebes became a metropolis, a hub of international trade and a center of art and culture. The city's wealth was evident in its grand temples, its opulent palaces, and the luxurious lifestyle of its elite. Yet, even after losing its political dominance, Thebes remained a city of immense religious and cultural significance, a testament to its glorious past. Few sights on earth can compare to the awe-inspiring grandeur of the Karnak temple complex. Imagine standing before this colossal structure, its towering pylons reaching towards the heavens, a symbol of human devotion and architectural genius. Karnak was not simply a temple. It was a city within a city, a complex of temples, chapels and monuments dedicated to the Theban triad Amun-Ra, Mut and Khonsu. The hypostyle hall, with its forest of massive columns, is perhaps the most iconic image of Karnak. The construction of Karnak spanned over 2 millennia, with each successive pharaoh feeling compelled to leave his mark on this sacred complex. From the massive pylons and obelisks to the intricate reliefs and inscriptions that adorn its walls, Karnak stands as a testament to the ambition, ingenuity, and deep religious fervour of the ancient Egyptians. The story of Thebes is not just one of religious devotion and architectural grandeur, it is also a story of conflict and resilience. Thebes found itself at the heart of several pivotal moments in Egyptian history, times when the very existence of the kingdom was threatened. One such period was the Second Intermediate Period, a time of turmoil and division when Egypt fell under the rule of the Hyksos, a foreign power from the Levant. The Hyksos, with their superior weaponry and military tactics, conquered much of Lower Egypt, pushing the native Egyptian rulers south. Thebes, however, refused to submit. Theban rulers, seeing themselves as the true heirs to the pharaonic legacy, waged a long and bloody war against the Hyksos, a conflict that would determine the fate of Egypt. Finally, under the leadership of Ahmose I, the founder of the 18th dynasty, the Egyptians triumphed. Ahmose I, a Theban prince, drove the Hyksos out of Egypt, reuniting the two lands and ushering in a new era of Egyptian power and prosperity. Thebes, at its zenith, was more than just a political and religious capital. It was the cultural heart of ancient Egypt, a city alive with creativity and artistic innovation. Imagine the workshops of Thebes, filled with skilled artisans, sculptors, painters, weavers, their hands bringing life to stone, wood and fabric, transforming them into works of breathtaking beauty. The tombs and temples of the Theban necropolis offer a glimpse into this vibrant artistic tradition. The walls of these structures are adorned with intricate murals and carvings, each one a masterpiece that speaks volumes about the artistic skill and the religious beliefs of the ancient Egyptians. Theban artists and craftsmen were renowned throughout the ancient world for their skill. Thebes became a centre for the production of luxury goods, from exquisite jewellery and finely crafted furniture to colourful textiles and beautifully painted pottery. Thebes' rise to prominence was fuelled, in part, by its strategic location. Situated on the banks of the Nile, the lifeblood of Egypt, Thebes controlled the agricultural wealth of the surrounding region. Thebes' location also made it a natural hub for trade. Caravans laden with exotic goods from Nubia to the south and Punt to the east converged on Thebes, bringing with them gold, ivory, ebony, incense and other treasures. The wealth generated by this trade enriched the city, filling the coffers of the pharaohs and enabling them to embark on ambitious building projects and military campaigns. The opulence of Thebes was evident in its grand temples and monuments, its luxurious palaces and the lavish lifestyle of its elite. Even the mightiest of empires are not immune to the tides of time. Thebes, for centuries the heart of a civilization, eventually experienced a slow decline, its power and influence waning as new powers rose to prominence in the ancient world. The first blow came in 663 BCE, when the Assyrian king Ashurbanipal sacked Thebes. The Assyrians, a ruthless and efficient military force, had conquered much of the Near East, and Egypt, weakened by internal strife and economic decline, was unable to withstand their onslaught. The sack of Thebes by the Assyrians was a traumatic event for the Egyptians. The city, once considered invincible, was plundered and burned, its temples desecrated, its treasures carried off to Assyria as spoils of war. Thebes never fully recovered from the Assyrian sack. Centuries later, under Roman rule, Thebes was again sacked, this time after a revolt against Roman authority. Thebes may lie in ruins, its grand temples and palaces reduced to rubble, but its story continues to resonate across the millennia. The remains of this once great city, spread across the modern-day city of Luxor, are now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a testament to their enduring historical, architectural and cultural significance. The Karnak and Luxor temple complexes, the Valley of the Kings, the Valley of the Queens, and the numerous other tombs, temples and monuments scattered across the Theban necropolis offer an unparalleled glimpse into the world of ancient Egypt. Today, Thebes is one of Egypt's most popular tourist destinations, attracting visitors from all corners of the globe. Thebes was more than just a physical city. It was a powerful symbol woven deeply into the fabric of Egyptian mythology and religious belief. The Egyptians believed that Thebes was the earthly counterpart of the primordial mound that emerged from the waters of chaos at the beginning of creation. It was here, in the heart of Thebes, that the god Amun-Ra, the king of the gods, was said to have first emerged, bringing light and order to the world. Thebes' association with Amun-Ra elevated it to a position of supreme religious significance. The Opet festival, one of the most important events in the Egyptian religious calendar, was celebrated annually in Thebes. Thebes, in the eyes of the ancient Egyptians, was a sacred city, a place where the boundaries between the earthly and the divine were blurred. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the ancient city of Thebes. From its grand temples that scraped the sky to the whispers of pharaohs in the Valley of the Kings, Thebes stands as a testament to human ambition, ingenuity, and the enduring power of belief. The sands of time have long concealed the daily lives of those who lived in ancient Egypt. Yet beneath the scorching desert sun, whispers from the past remain. Tombs, adorned with intricate paintings and carvings, offer us a unique window into their world. These vibrant scenes, preserved for thousands of years, provide a glimpse into the lives of ancient Egyptians, including their children. The Egyptians believed in life after death, a realm mirroring their earthly existence. They meticulously decorated their tombs with scenes from their daily lives, hoping to carry these experiences into the afterlife. These images, frozen in time, offer us invaluable insights into their customs, beliefs, and even the games their children played. Stepping into the painted chambers of ancient Egyptian tombs is like stepping back in time. We are transported to a world teeming with activity where children are not merely passive observers but active participants in the bustle of daily life. The tombs, particularly those from the Old and Middle Kingdoms, are replete with scenes of children engaging in various activities. These images reveal a society that cherished childhood and recognized the importance of play. Children are often depicted alongside adults participating in chores and celebrations. Their presence in these scenes suggests a close-knit family structure where children were integral members of the household and community. The tomb of Mereruka, a high-ranking official from the 6th dynasty, offers a captivating glimpse into the world of ancient Egyptian children. Among the many vibrant scenes adorning its walls, we find depictions of children engaged in playful acrobatics. These agile youngsters twist and contort their bodies into impressive poses, showcasing their flexibility and balance. One scene depicts a group of children forming a human pyramid, their small bodies balanced precariously atop one another. Another shows a young girl gracefully arched backward, her hands touching the ground behind her. These acrobatic displays were not merely forms of amusement. They were likely part of religious festivals and celebrations, adding an element of spectacle and entertainment to these important events. The rock-cut tombs of Beni Hassan, dating back to the Middle Kingdom, provide further evidence of the importance of movement and dance in ancient Egyptian culture. These tombs, carved meticulously into the cliffs, stand as silent witnesses to the vibrant life that once thrived here. The tombs, belonging to provincial governors, feature scenes of children engaged in a whirling dance, their bodies spinning and twirling with joyous abandon. These images capture the essence of youthful exuberance and the communal spirit of the time. Similarly, the tomb of Keti showcases children caught in mid-twirl, their colourful garments swirling around them like vibrant blossoms. The vivid colours and dynamic poses bring these ancient scenes to life, allowing us to glimpse the past. These whirling dances, likely accompanied by music and rhythmic clapping, were not only a form of entertainment but also a way for children to express themselves creatively and connect with their cultural heritage. Through these dances, they celebrated their identity and passed down traditions from one generation to the next, ensuring the continuity of their rich cultural tapestry. The scorching Egyptian sun dictated much of daily life, and clothing was no exception. The intense heat and relentless sun shaped the way ancient Egyptians dressed, influencing their choice of materials and styles. Ancient Egyptian children, much like their adult counterparts, donned light and airy garments suited to the hot climate. These garments were designed to keep them cool and comfortable, allowing them to go about their daily activities without being hindered by the oppressive heat. Linen, a fabric woven from the flax plant, was the material of choice, its breathable nature providing comfort in the sweltering heat. The process of weaving linen was an essential skill, passed down through generations, ensuring that everyone had access to this vital fabric. Young children, particularly boys, were often depicted wearing little to no clothing, their bare skin allowing them to stay cool under the desert sun. This minimalistic approach to clothing was practical and efficient, helping them avoid overheating. Girls, as they grew older, would wear simple linen dresses, often held up by straps over the shoulders. These dresses were not only functional, but also allowed for a degree of modesty as they transitioned into adulthood. These lightweight garments allowed for ease of movement, essential for active children engaged in play and exploration. The freedom of movement provided by their clothing enabled them to fully enjoy their childhood, exploring the world around them without restriction. The ancient Egyptian concept of childhood extended beyond mere survival. It encompassed play and imagination. Archaeological excavations at Kahun, a workers' town associated with the pyramid of Senusret II, have unearthed a treasure trove of children's toys, providing tangible evidence of their playful pursuits. Among the finds are balls made of woven fibres, their simple construction belying hours of fun spent tossing and catching. Wooden sticks, resembling miniature javelins, hint at games of skill and accuracy, while small carved figurines of animals ignite the imagination, transporting children to a world of make-believe. These toys, simple yet enduring, offer a poignant reminder that the desire for play transcends time and culture. Play in ancient Egypt was not limited to physical activity, it also encompassed games of skill and strategy. These games were an integral part of daily life and were enjoyed by both the young and the old. Board games, in particular, were popular pastimes, enjoyed by people of all ages, including children. These games were often played in the evenings or during festivals, bringing families and communities together. Two of the most well-known ancient Egyptian board games are Senet and Mehen. These games have been discovered in various archaeological sites, indicating their widespread popularity. Senet, a game of strategy played on a long, narrow board with 30 squares, involved moving pieces according to the roll of dice. The game required careful planning and foresight to outmaneuver opponents. The game, often found depicted in tomb paintings, was believed to have religious significance, representing the journey of the soul through the afterlife. It was thought that mastering Senet could help one navigate the challenges of the afterlife. Mehen, named after the snake god, was played on a circular board resembling a coiled serpent. The unique design of the board added an extra layer of complexity to the game. Players would move their pieces around the board, attempting to capture their opponent's pieces. The game required strategic thinking and a deep understanding of the rules to succeed. These games not only provided entertainment, but also honed children's cognitive skills and strategic thinking. They were a vital part of education, teaching important life skills through play. The Nile River, the lifeblood of ancient Egypt, was not only a source of sustenance but also a playground for children seeking respite from the desert heat. Swimming was a popular activity, and tomb scenes often depict children frolicking in the river's cool waters. One scene shows a group of children splashing and playing in the shallows, their laughter echoing through the ages. Another depicts children swimming alongside adults, their bodies sleek and agile in the water. The Nile, despite its inherent dangers, provided a much-needed escape from the scorching sun, offering children a chance to cool off, socialize, and engage in carefree play. The scenes etched into the walls of ancient Egyptian tombs offer us a poignant and enduring glimpse into the lives of children who lived thousands of years ago. These images, imbued with a sense of timelessness, remind us that childhood, with its inherent joys and wonder, transcends time and cultural boundaries. While our knowledge of ancient Egyptian childhood remains fragmentary, these glimpses into their world paint a picture of a society that valued play, creativity, and the importance of family. The toys they cherished, the games they played, and the laughter that undoubtedly filled their days are testaments to the universality of childhood experiences. Herodotus possessed a keen eye for observation and a passion for collecting stories. He sought out learned men and women, engaging them in lively discussions. He listened intently to tales whispered in marketplaces and songs sung in royal courts. He believed in the power of first-hand experience, venturing into remote regions to witness life in all its diversity. Herodotus understood that to truly comprehend the world, one had to explore its every corner. Egypt, with its ancient pyramids that have stood the test of time, towering majestically over the desert landscape, and enigmatic hieroglyphs that tell stories of gods, kings, and everyday life, held a particular allure for Herodotus. It was a land steeped in history, its origins lost to the mists of time, where every stone and ruin whispered secrets of a bygone era. Herodotus was captivated by the grandeur of its monuments, the towering statues that seemed to touch the sky, and the complexity of its civilization, a society that thrived with bustling marketplaces and intricate social structures. Herodotus immersed himself in Egyptian culture, engaging with priests, scribes, and ordinary people, learning from their daily lives and traditions. He learned about their religious beliefs, their social customs, and their understanding of the cosmos, which was deeply intertwined with their daily existence. He was fascinated by their stories of gods and pharaohs, tales of divine rulers and mythical beings, of creation and the afterlife, where elaborate burial practices ensured a journey to the next world. He recognized that Egypt offered a unique perspective on the human experience, a civilization that had mastered the art of living in harmony with the natural and supernatural worlds. Herodotus was a pioneer in the field of history, often referred to as the father of history, due to his groundbreaking work in documenting the past. However, his methods differed greatly from the rigorous standards of modern scholarship. Unlike today's historians, who rely on a combination of primary sources, archaeological evidence, and peer-reviewed research, Herodotus had to navigate a world where written records were scarce and often unreliable. He relied heavily on oral accounts, gathering stories from a wide range of sources. These included local storytellers, travelers, and merchants, each with their own version of events. Herodotus understood that history was often passed down through generations, shaped by the memories and perspectives of those who recounted it. This oral tradition was a double-edged sword. While it preserved the essence of events, it also allowed for embellishments and alterations over time. The stories he collected were like pieces of a puzzle, each one offering a glimpse into the past, but none providing a complete picture. The hieroglyphics and inscriptions he encountered were invaluable, yet they too were subject to interpretation. Herodotus recognized the subjective nature of his sources, but believed that by collecting multiple perspectives, he could approach a semblance of truth. He was aware that each account was colored by the teller's own experiences and biases. While Herodotus valued first-hand observation, he also relied on the interpretations of local guides and experts. These individuals provided him with insights that he could not have gained on his own. He understood that these guides and experts had spent their lives immersed in the culture and history of their land, making their knowledge indispensable. He consulted with Egyptian priests who possessed a deep knowledge of their history and religion. These priests were the keepers of sacred texts and oral traditions, offering Herodotus a wealth of information. He sought out Greek merchants and travelers who had spent years in Egypt, absorbing its culture. These individuals provided a unique perspective, bridging the gap between Greek and Egyptian worlds. He recognized that to fully understand a place, one had to rely on the knowledge of those who knew it best. This meant listening to the voices of the people who lived there, who had experienced its history firsthand. Herodotus's approach to history was not without its flaws. His reliance on oral accounts and second-hand information sometimes led him astray. He sometimes struggled to differentiate between fact and legend, accepting fantastical stories at face value. These tales, while captivating, often blurred the line between history and myth. He acknowledged the limitations of his own knowledge, often presenting conflicting accounts side by side. This approach allowed readers to see the diversity of perspectives, but also highlighted the uncertainties inherent in his work. However, his willingness to embrace uncertainty and to present multiple perspectives distinguished him as a historian. He was not afraid to admit when he did not know the full story, and he left room for future scholars to build upon his work. He understood that history was not simply a collection of facts, but a complex tapestry woven from memory, interpretation, and imagination. This holistic approach allowed him to capture the richness and complexity of human experience, making his work timeless and invaluable. Egypt, in the eyes of Herodotus, was a land of wonders, both familiar and strange. As he journeyed through this ancient civilization, he was struck by the unique blend of natural beauty and human ingenuity that defined the landscape. He marveled at the Nile's annual floods, which brought life to the arid land. These floods were not just a natural phenomenon, but a lifeline for the people, ensuring the fertility of the soil and the prosperity of the nation. He described the Egyptians' ingenious irrigation systems, which transformed the desert into fertile fields. These systems were a testament to their advanced engineering skills and their ability to adapt to their environment. He observed their agricultural practices, noting their cultivation of wheat, barley, and flax. These crops were not only staples of their diet, but also essential for their economy, providing materials for trade and daily life. Herodotus was impressed by the Egyptians' ability to harness the power of nature to sustain their civilization. Their agricultural techniques were sustainable and efficient, allowing them to thrive in a challenging environment. Herodotus was equally fascinated by the Egyptians' cultural practices. He witnessed their vibrant festivals, intricate rituals, and the daily routines that reflected their deep-seated beliefs and values. He described their reverence for the Nile, which they believed was the source of all life. The river was central to their religion and mythology, and they held numerous ceremonies to honor its vital role in their existence. He observed their elaborate burial rituals, including the mummification of their dead and the construction of elaborate tombs. These practices were deeply rooted in their belief in the afterlife and the importance of preserving the body for the journey beyond. He noted their fascination with astronomy, their development of a calendar based on the solar year, and their construction of massive pyramids aligned with the stars. These achievements demonstrated their advanced understanding of the cosmos and their desire to connect with the divine. Herodotus recognized the Egyptians' deep connection to their environment and their reverence for the natural world. This connection was evident in their art, architecture, and daily practices, all of which reflected a profound respect for the forces of nature. He observed their respect for animals, particularly cats, which they considered sacred. Cats were not only pets, but also symbols of protection and grace, often depicted in their art and associated with the goddess Bastet. He noted their belief in the afterlife and their elaborate preparations for the journey into the underworld. These preparations included not only mummification, but also the provision of goods, amulets, and inscriptions to guide and protect the deceased in the afterlife. Herodotus understood that the Egyptians' worldview was fundamentally different from that of the Greeks, shaped by their unique environment and their ancient traditions. This difference was reflected in their art, religion, and social structures, offering a rich tapestry of cultural diversity that fascinated and inspired him. Did you know that Alexandria, once considered the pinnacle of learning and culture, was founded by a man who never lived to see its completion? In the year 331 before the Common Era, Alexander the Great, the ambitious Macedonian king, laid the foundations of what would become one of the greatest cities of the ancient world. And yet the city's early days remain shrouded in mystery. What grand vision did Alexander hold for this city? It was to be more than a mere military outpost to control Egypt. He envisioned a city that would become a melting pot of cultures, a place where the wisdom of the East would blend with the knowledge of the West. Sadly, he would not live to see his dream fulfilled. He died in Babylon, far from the city that bore his name. The city, named after its founder, would soon flourish into a beacon of knowledge and culture, outliving the man who envisioned it. Imagine a city so advanced, it housed the world's largest library and became the epicenter of knowledge and learning. This was Alexandria, the beacon of enlightenment in ancient Egypt, and indeed the world. It was here that the Great Library of Alexandria was established, a marvel not just in architecture but also in its purpose. This wasn't merely a repository of scrolls, but a vibrant hub that attracted the brightest minds from every corner of the known world. Scholars, philosophers, scientists, poets, they all flocked to Alexandria, drawn by the allure of the library and the promise of boundless knowledge. The library was not just about books. It was a melting pot of cultures, ideas, and intellectual discourse. It was here that the world's greatest thinkers of the time, such as Euclid and Archimedes, gathered to share, discuss, and challenge each other's ideas, sparking intellectual revolutions that would shape the course of human thought. The library was not merely a place of learning, but also of cultural exchange. With countless scrolls written in different languages, representing different cultures, it served as a bridge, connecting East and West, North and South. It was this convergence of diverse cultures and ideas that made the Library of Alexandria a true seat of learning. But, as is the case with many great things, the Library of Alexandria was not destined to last. Despite its immeasurable contribution to human knowledge and understanding, it was tragically lost to the sands of time. Fires, wars, neglect, the exact cause of its demise is still a mystery, but what's certain is that the loss was colossal, a void that could never be filled. Yet the legacy of the Library of Alexandria lives on. It reminds us of a time when Alexandria was more than just a city. It was the epicenter of learning, the meeting point of cultures, the beacon of enlightenment. The Library of Alexandria, a testament to the city's commitment to knowledge and learning, was tragically lost to the sands of time. Ever wondered where the concept of a lighthouse originated from? It was birthed from the ingenious minds of the ancient Egyptians, specifically in the city of Alexandria. This city was home to the Lighthouse of Alexandria, a marvel of human achievement and one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Constructed in the 3rd century BC, this towering structure stood at an astounding height of 350 feet, a beacon of hope and guidance for mariners navigating the treacherous Mediterranean Sea. The lighthouse was more than just a feat of engineering. It was a symbol of the city's significance. Crafted from large blocks of light-colored stone, The three-tiered lighthouse was an unmistakable landmark. Its lowest level was a square-shaped base, the middle was octagonal, and the top was a circular level, crowned with a statue that reached for the heavens. At night, a fire was lit at the apex, its light magnified by mirrors to reach far into the sea. The Lighthouse of Alexandria served a dual purpose. While its primary function was to guide ships, it also symbolized the city's role as a beacon of knowledge and enlightenment. Alexandria was a center of learning, a place where scholars from around the world gathered to exchange ideas and make groundbreaking discoveries. The lighthouse, much like the city itself, served as a beacon of light guiding the world towards knowledge and discovery. All great things, they say, must come to an end, but sometimes they leave behind echoes that reverberate through time. And so, it was with Alexandria. The decline of this great city was a slow and gradual process, its grandeur fading under the weight of time and changing hands of power. When Rome took over Egypt around the 1st century BC, Alexandria's star began to wane. The Romans, with their own bustling capital and cultural centers, didn't prioritize Alexandria's upkeep, and the city's importance as a hub of learning and culture began to diminish. The great library, once the jewel of the city, was not spared. Through a series of unfortunate events, including fires and neglect, much of its vast collection of knowledge was lost. The lighthouse, one of the ancient world's 7 wonders, crumbled into the sea after a series of earthquakes. The city that had once been a beacon of enlightenment was losing its light. Yet even as Alexandria's ancient wonders disappeared, they were not forgotten. As centuries turned into millennia, the city's past was buried, not just in the annals of history, but also under layers of earth and sea. It lay there waiting to be rediscovered, to tell its story once more, and rediscover we did. Modern archaeology has unearthed many of Alexandria's secrets. Divers exploring the city's ancient harbour found remnants of the lighthouse. Excavations have revealed the layout of the city, the grandeur of its architecture, and given us a glimpse into the lives of its inhabitants. Through these findings we can piece together the city's past and marvel at its grandeur. These discoveries remind us that Alexandria was not just a city, but a symbol of human curiosity and the pursuit of knowledge. Even in its decline and disappearance, it continues to inspire us, offering a window into a world that once was and could be again. The once thriving city of Alexandria may have faded into history, but its legacy lives on, reminding us of a time when it stood at the forefront of knowledge and culture. The city of Alexandria, a beacon of the ancient world, may no longer exist as it once did, but its influence echoes through the ages. Conceived by Alexander the Great, it embraced the spirit of enlightenment with the establishment of its famed library. Its majestic lighthouse, an architectural marvel, guided many, while its decline and rediscovery remind us of the ebb and flow of civilizations. In the annals of history, Alexandria stands as a testament to the human thirst for knowledge, culture and progress. A city that truly was a light in the darkness. Few figures in history command the awe and intrigue of Alexander the Great. His name echoes through the annals of time, a symbol of unparalleled ambition and military genius. This Macedonian king, born in 356 BC, conquered vast swathes of the ancient world, creating an empire that stretched from Greece to Egypt and into the heart of Asia. His campaigns were marked by strategic brilliance and relentless determination, leaving an indelible mark on the course of Western civilization. His influence extended beyond the battlefield, shaping the cultural and intellectual landscape of the regions he conquered. Yet the final resting place of this legendary conqueror remains one of history's most enduring mysteries. Despite numerous accounts and theories, the exact location of Alexander's tomb has eluded discovery for over 2 millennia. The search for Alexander's tomb has captivated historians, archaeologists and treasure hunters for centuries, each driven by the hope of uncovering one of the greatest archaeological finds of all time, fueled by tantalizing clues and a profound desire to uncover the secrets buried within. Ancient texts and historical records provide hints, but none have led to a definitive discovery. The significance of finding Alexander's tomb extends far beyond the recovery of lost treasure or the confirmation of historical records. It represents a bridge to the past, a direct link to one of history's most influential figures. Within that lost mausoleum lies the potential to unlock a deeper understanding of Alexander himself, his beliefs, his ambitions, and his legacy. The artifacts and inscriptions within could provide unprecedented insights into his life and the era he dominated. The tomb's discovery would offer invaluable insights into the funerary practices, artistry, and cultural exchange of the Hellenistic period, a time when Alexander's conquests forged connections between East and West. In 323 BC, at the age of 32, Alexander the Great's triumphant reign was cut short in Babylon. The circumstances surrounding his death remain shrouded in mystery, with theories ranging from illness to poisoning. Some accounts describe a high fever, while others point to the possibility of assassination by rivals within his own ranks. Regardless of the cause, Alexander's death plunged his vast empire into chaos. Without a clear heir, his generals, known as the Diadochi, engaged in a bitter power struggle that would last for decades. Amidst this turmoil, the fate of Alexander's body became a matter of immediate concern. Tradition dictated that a king of Alexander's stature deserved a lavish burial and a magnificent tomb. However, the logistics of preserving and transporting his body presented a considerable challenge in the ancient world. The journey from Babylon to his Macedonian homeland was long and arduous, and the summer heat posed a significant risk of decomposition. One of Alexander's most trusted generals, Ptolemy the Vsoter, ultimately took possession of the king's body. Ptolemy, a man of great ambition and vision, saw in Alexander's remains not just the body of a fallen leader, but a powerful symbol that could cement his own authority and legacy. Ptolemy, who would later establish himself as the ruler of Egypt, initially transported Alexander's remains to Memphis, the ancient capital of Egypt. Memphis, a city steeped in history and tradition, was a fitting temporary resting place for the great conqueror. The journey to Memphis was a grand procession, reflecting the reverence and respect Alexander commanded even in death. There, Alexander was embalmed by Egyptian priests, masters of the art of preserving the dead. The embalming process was intricate and sacred, involving rituals and techniques perfected over millennia. The priests, with their deep knowledge of mummification, ensured that Alexander's body would be preserved for eternity, a testament to his enduring legacy. Memphis, however, was not intended to be Alexander's final resting place. Ptolemy had grander plans, envisioning a tomb that would reflect the greatness of Alexander and serve as a symbol of his own rule. The discussions and planning for this monumental task were extensive, involving architects, artisans, and scholars. Ptolemy envisioned a grander tomb for his former king and comrade, a monument that would not only honor Alexander, but also legitimize Ptolemy's own claim to power and his vision for a new Hellenistic dynasty in Egypt. The construction of this tomb was a massive undertaking, requiring resources and labor on an unprecedented scale. It was a project that would take years to complete, but Ptolemy was determined to see it through. Thus began the construction of a magnificent tomb in Alexandria, the vibrant cosmopolitan city Ptolemy founded on the shores of the Mediterranean. Alexandria, with its strategic location and cultural significance, was the perfect site for Alexander's final resting place. The city itself was a testament to Ptolemy's vision, a melting pot of cultures and ideas, reflecting the Hellenistic ideals of knowledge and progress. The exact location and design of this tomb remain a subject of debate, but historical accounts describe a structure of remarkable grandeur, adorned with precious materials and guarded by a contingent of soldiers. The tomb was not just a burial site, but a monument to Alexander's achievements and Ptolemy's aspirations. It was a place where the past and future converged, a symbol of continuity and change. Alexander's tomb in Alexandria quickly became a site of pilgrimage and veneration. People from all walks of life, from scholars to soldiers, made the journey to pay their respects. The tomb became a focal point for the Hellenistic world, a place where people could connect with the legacy of Alexander and the new era Ptolemy was ushering in. People from across the Hellenistic world flocked to pay their respects to the fallen conqueror, transforming his tomb into a symbol of Alexander's enduring legacy and Ptolemy's burgeoning power. The tomb was more than just a final resting place. It was a beacon of hope and inspiration, a reminder of the greatness that could be achieved through vision and determination. Alexander's journey did not end with his death. It continued through the lives and aspirations of those who came after him, forever etched in the annals of history. Despite its initial prominence, Alexander's tomb in Alexandria seemingly vanished from the historical record. This disappearance has puzzled historians and archaeologists for centuries, sparking numerous quests and expeditions to uncover its secrets. The tomb, once a symbol of Alexander the Great's unparalleled legacy, now exists only in the annals of history and the imaginations of those who seek it. While ancient writers provided detailed descriptions of the tomb's splendor and the rituals performed there, concrete information about its precise location and ultimate fate remains elusive. These descriptions paint a picture of a grand mausoleum adorned with precious metals and intricate carvings, a fitting tribute to one of history's most legendary figures. Yet, despite these vivid accounts, the physical evidence of the tomb's existence has remained frustratingly out of reach. Over the centuries, numerous theories have been proposed to explain the tomb's disappearance. Scholars have pored over ancient texts, debated the reliability of historical accounts, and examined every clue with meticulous care. Some suggest that the tomb was hidden deliberately to protect it from grave robbers, while others believe it was simply forgotten as the city of Alexandria evolved and expanded. Some historians believe that the tomb was destroyed during periods of unrest and upheaval that plagued Alexandria throughout its history. The city, a melting pot of cultures and a hub of trade, was no stranger to conflict. Riots, invasions, and political turmoil could have easily led to the tomb's destruction, its treasures looted, and its structure reduced to rubble. Earthquakes, fires, and the destructive fury of various conquerors all left their mark on the city, potentially obliterating Alexander's tomb in the process. Natural disasters, such as the devastating earthquake of 365 AD, reshaped the landscape of Alexandria, toppling buildings and altering the course of history. Fires, too, ravaged the city, consuming everything in their path, including perhaps the final resting place of Alexander the Great. Another theory suggests that the tomb might have been lost more gradually, swallowed by the shifting sands of time. As centuries passed, the once majestic structure could have been buried beneath layers of sand and debris, hidden from view and forgotten by the world. Nature, relentless and unyielding, has a way of reclaiming what was once hers, erasing the marks of human achievement. Alexandria's coastline is known to have shifted over the centuries, with portions of the ancient city now submerged beneath the waters of the Mediterranean Sea. The relentless advance of the sea, combined with the gradual erosion of the coastline, has transformed the landscape dramatically. Entire sections of the city, once bustling with life, now lie beneath the waves, silent witnesses to a bygone era. It is possible that Alexander's tomb, or at least parts of it, met a similar fate, buried beneath layers of sediment and lost to the encroaching sea. Underwater, archaeological explorations have uncovered remnants of ancient Alexandria, offering tantalizing glimpses into the past. Yet the tomb of Alexander the Great remains elusive, a mystery waiting to be unraveled by future generations of explorers and historians. The Rosetta Stone is one of the most famous ancient artifacts in the world. The Rosetta Stone was rediscovered in July 1799 by French soldiers who were part of Napoleon Bonaparte's Egyptian campaign. They were tearing down an old wall at Fort Julian near the town of Rashid or Rosetta in the Nile Delta when they unearthed the stone. It is a large stone slab, originally part of a larger stele made of granodiorite. This durable material has preserved the inscriptions remarkably well over the millennia. The stone is inscribed with a decree issued in 196 BC at Memphis, Egypt, in honor of the Ptolemaic king Ptolemy V Epiphanes. This decree was meant to affirm the royal cult of the young king and was a significant political document of its time. What makes the Rosetta Stone so special is that the decree is inscribed in 3 different scripts, a feature that has made it invaluable to linguists and historians. Hieroglyphs, the formal writing system of ancient Egypt, these intricate symbols were used primarily for religious texts and monumental inscriptions. Demotic script, a cursive script used in everyday life. This script was the common script of the people, used for daily transactions and record-keeping. And finally, ancient Greek. The presence of these 3 scripts is what ultimately allowed scholars to decipher hieroglyphs, which had been a mystery for centuries. News of the Rosetta Stone's discovery quickly spread throughout Europe, sparking a race among scholars to be the first to decipher the hieroglyphs. Among those who took up the challenge were Thomas Young, an English polymath, and Jean-François Champollion, a French philologist. Young made significant progress in deciphering the Demotic script, identifying several phonetic signs and correctly identifying the cartouche, or royal name ring, of Ptolemy. However, it was Champollion who would ultimately crack the code of hieroglyphs. The breakthrough came in 1822 when French scholar Jean-François Champollion announced that he had deciphered the hieroglyphs, opening up a new era of Egyptology. The Rosetta Stone thus stands as a testament to human curiosity and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. Champollion built upon Young's work, using his knowledge of Coptic, the last stage of the ancient Egyptian language, to identify phonetic correspondences between the Greek and hieroglyphic texts. In 1822, he had a breakthrough when he realized that the hieroglyphic signs in Ptolemy's cartouche represented the sounds of his name in Greek. This discovery revolutionized our understanding of hieroglyphs, demonstrating that they were not simply pictographs or ideograms, but a complex system of writing that included phonetic elements. Champollion's work laid the foundation for the modern study of ancient Egyptian language and culture. The decipherment of hieroglyphs had a profound impact on our understanding of ancient Egypt. It allowed scholars to read the countless inscriptions and texts that had previously been indecipherable, opening up a vast new window into Egyptian history, religion, and culture. We now know much more about the daily lives of the ancient Egyptians, their beliefs and practices, and their interactions with other cultures. The Rosetta Stone, therefore, played a pivotal role in unlocking the secrets of one of the world's oldest civilizations. The Rosetta Stone, a granodiorite stele inscribed with a decree issued in Memphis, Egypt, in 196 BC, has a fascinating history that spans centuries and continents. Following Napoleon's defeat in Egypt in 1801, the Rosetta Stone, along with other antiquities collected by the French, became the property of the British under the terms of the Treaty of Alexandria. This treaty marked a significant moment in history, as it not only ended the French campaign in Egypt, but also transferred a wealth of knowledge and artifacts to British hands. The stone was transported to England and presented to King George III, who donated it to the British Museum in 1802. The journey of the Rosetta Stone from Egypt to England was a monumental task, involving careful planning and execution to ensure its safe arrival. Upon its arrival, it was immediately recognized for its potential to unlock the secrets of ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs. The Rosetta Stone has been on display at the British Museum ever since, becoming one of its most popular exhibits. Its presence has not only attracted scholars and historians, but also inspired countless visitors to delve into the mysteries of ancient civilizations. The stone's inscriptions, written in 3 scripts, Greek, Demotic, and hieroglyphic, provided the key to deciphering Egyptian hieroglyphs, a breakthrough that revolutionized our understanding of ancient Egypt. Millions of visitors from around the world flock to see the stone each year, marveling at its historical significance. The Rosetta Stone stands as a testament to human curiosity and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. Its journey from the sands of Egypt to the halls of the British Museum is a story of cultural exchange, discovery, and the enduring legacy of ancient civilizations. The Rosetta Stone's legacy extends far beyond its physical presence in the British Museum. Its discovery and decipherment sparked a renewed interest in ancient Egypt, leading to countless archaeological excavations and scholarly studies. The stone has become an iconic symbol of our ability to unlock the mysteries of the past. It serves as a reminder of the importance of preserving cultural heritage and the power of human ingenuity. The Rosetta Stone's fame has transcended academia, becoming a popular cultural icon. Its image has been used in countless books, films, television shows, and video games. The phrase Rosetta Stone has even entered the English lexicon as a metaphor for anything that holds the key to understanding a complex problem or mystery. The Rosetta Stone is more than just a stone slab with inscriptions. It is a key that unlocked the secrets of ancient Egypt, a civilization that flourished thousands of years ago along the banks of the Nile River. It is a tangible link to one of the world's oldest civilizations, a bridge connecting us to a time when pharaohs ruled and monumental pyramids were constructed. The Rosetta Stone is a testament to the enduring power of language, showcasing the intricate hieroglyphics that once conveyed the stories, laws, and beliefs of an ancient people. It stands as a symbol of our insatiable curiosity about the past, driving scholars and archaeologists to uncover the mysteries that lie beneath the sands of time. Its discovery and decipherment revolutionized our understanding of ancient Egypt, providing the key to translating hieroglyphics and opening up a vast new window into a world that had long been shrouded in mystery. This newfound knowledge allowed us to piece together the history, culture, and daily life of a civilization that had been lost to the ages, revealing the grandeur and complexity of ancient Egyptian society. The Rosetta Stone continues to captivate and inspire us today, drawing visitors from around the world to marvel at its inscriptions and the stories they tell. It serves as a reminder of the enduring power of human curiosity, the drive to explore, learn, and understand our past. The importance of preserving our shared cultural heritage cannot be overstated, as it connects us to our roots and helps us understand the journey of humanity through the ages. The Rosetta Stone is a beacon of this heritage, a timeless artifact that continues to illuminate the path of discovery. Johann Ludwig Burckhardt, a name synonymous with exploration and discovery, was born in Switzerland in 1784. He grew up in a privileged family, receiving a classical education that ignited a passion for history and languages. Burckhardt's thirst for knowledge extended beyond the confines of Europe. He yearned to explore the distant lands of the Orient, captivated by their ancient civilizations and rich cultures. Little did he know that his name would be etched in history as a pioneer of exploration, forever linked to the rediscovery of some of the world's most awe-inspiring archaeological treasures. Burckhardt's early years were marked by a deep fascination with the world beyond his Swiss homeland. He devoured tales of adventure and exploration, his imagination ignited by the accounts of early travelers. His academic pursuits reflected this thirst for knowledge, excelling in his studies of history, geography, and languages. These disciplines provided him with a strong foundation, equipping him with the tools necessary to navigate the complexities of the Orient. With each passing year, his desire to experience these distant lands firsthand grew stronger, setting the stage for an extraordinary life of exploration and discovery. Burckhardt's family, while supportive of his academic pursuits, held reservations about his ambitions to travel to the East. The region was perceived as dangerous and unpredictable, fraught with risks that worried his loved ones. However, Burckhardt's determination remained unwavering. He understood the challenges that lay ahead but was undeterred. His resolve to explore the Orient, to immerse himself in its cultures and uncover its secrets, fueled his determination to overcome any obstacle in his path. This unwavering spirit would serve him well in the years to come, guiding him through the triumphs and tribulations of his extraordinary journeys. Determined to realize his dreams, Burckhardt embarked on a period of rigorous preparation. He journeyed to London in 1806, immersing himself in the city's intellectual circles. He honed his Arabic language skills at Cambridge, recognizing the importance of mastering local dialects to navigate the complexities of communication in the East. This linguistic dedication was not merely academic, it was a testament to Burckhardt's respect for the cultures he sought to engage with. His studies went beyond language acquisition, encompassing a deep dive into the history, customs and religious practices of the Arab world. He delved into the accounts of previous explorers, scrutinizing their successes and failures, gleaning valuable insights from their experiences. Burckhardt recognized that knowledge, particularly cultural sensitivity, would be his greatest asset in navigating the challenges of the Orient. His preparations were meticulous, reflecting a blend of academic rigor and practical wisdom, shaping him into an explorer uniquely equipped for the journey ahead. In 1809, under the auspices of the African Association, a London-based organization dedicated to exploring the African continent, Burckhardt embarked on his journey to Cairo. This marked the beginning of his transformation from a scholar into an explorer, stepping out of the libraries and lecture halls and into the heart of the unknown. The voyage to Cairo was arduous, fraught with the challenges of sea travel during that era. Yet, Burckhardt faced each obstacle with unwavering determination, his spirit buoyed by the knowledge that he was one step closer to realizing his lifelong dream. His arrival in Cairo marked the beginning of his immersive experience in the Arab world. He dedicated himself to perfecting his Arabic, adopting local customs, and immersing himself in the rhythms of life along the Nile. He understood that to truly connect with the people and places he aimed to explore, he needed to blend in, to shed the persona of a European outsider and embrace the guise of a traveler who respected and appreciated the nuances of their culture. This commitment to cultural immersion would prove invaluable in the years to come, enabling him to gain access to places and people that had remained hidden from the outside world. Donning the persona of Sheikh Ibrahim ibn Abdallah, a guise meticulously crafted to blend into local communities, Burckhardt embarked on his exploration of the Ottoman Empire's southern regions. This strategic adoption of a local identity was essential for his safety and success. It allowed him to navigate sensitive religious and cultural landscapes, facilitating interactions with local populations who might have been wary of a European traveller. His disguise was more than just a change of clothes. It was an embodiment of his commitment to respectful exploration. In 1812, while journeying through the rugged landscapes of present-day Jordan, Burckhardt encountered Bedouin tribesmen who spoke of a hidden city carved into the sandstone cliffs. Intrigued by their descriptions, he persuaded them to guide him to this mysterious place, unaware that he was about to rediscover one of antiquity's most spectacular lost cities, Petra. The journey was fraught with challenges, navigating treacherous terrain and negotiating with wary locals. Yet Burckhardt's perseverance, fueled by a thirst for discovery, led him to the very heart of this hidden wonder. As he stood before the treasury, Petra's most iconic monument, carved with astonishing detail into the sheer rock face, Burckhardt was awestruck. He meticulously documented the ruins, sketching detailed drawings and recording intricate measurements. He recognized the historical significance of his discovery, understanding that he was rediscovering a lost civilization, a testament to the ingenuity and artistry of the Nabatean people. His meticulous documentation, carried out under the guise of a simple traveler, would prove crucial in reintroducing Petra to the world. Despite his awe at the grandeur of Petra, Burckhardt remained committed to his assumed identity. He knew that revealing his true purpose could jeopardize his safety and limit his access to other hidden treasures. He feigned disinterest, downplaying the significance of the ruins to avoid arousing suspicion. This act of calculated indifference, a testament to his adaptability and quick thinking, allowed him to complete his exploration of Petra and continue his journey, carrying with him the knowledge of a rediscovered wonder that would captivate the world's imagination. Burckhardt's journey continued southward, leading him to Egypt, a land steeped in ancient history. He immersed himself in the study of hieroglyphics, recognizing the importance of deciphering these ancient scripts to unlock the secrets of Egypt's past. His linguistic talents, honed through years of dedicated study, proved invaluable as he grappled with the complexities of this ancient writing system. His efforts, while preliminary, contributed to the growing field of Egyptology, laying the groundwork for future scholars who would ultimately crack the code of hieroglyphics. In 1813, while travelling along the Nile, Burckhardt's attention was drawn to tales of colossal statues buried in the sand near the village of Abu Simbel. Intrigued, he ventured into the desert, guided by local stories and rumours. His perseverance was rewarded when he stumbled upon the awe-inspiring temple complex of Abu Simbel, half buried by the shifting sands of time. The sight of these colossal statues, carved with such grandeur and scale, left him speechless. He recognized the historical significance of his discovery, understanding that he was standing before a monument of unparalleled grandeur, a testament to the power and ambition of Pharaoh Rameses II. He meticulously documented the site, his detailed descriptions and sketches capturing the magnificence of the temple complex. Burckhardt's discovery at Abu Simbel, alongside his rediscovery of Petra, cemented his legacy as a pioneer of archaeology, a man who brought to light some of the ancient world's most spectacular treasures. Despite the challenges he faced, the scorching heat, the unforgiving terrain, and the constant need to maintain his assumed identity, Burckhardt's spirit never wavered. He pressed on, driven by an insatiable curiosity and a profound respect for the cultures he encountered. His journey through Egypt was more than just a geographical exploration. It was a testament to the power of human curiosity. A journey that revealed the enduring allure of ancient civilizations and the thrill of uncovering their hidden wonders. Let's travel back in time to meet the Nabateans, a fascinating ancient civilization. They were an ancient people who lived in the deserts of the Middle East, thriving in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Imagine them becoming a powerful force between the 4th and 2nd centuries BC, known for their amazing trading skills and strategic acumen. They were like the experts of their time, controlling important trade routes that connected Arabia, Egypt, and the Mediterranean, facilitating the exchange of goods and culture. Think of the valuable goods they transported: spices, incense, and myrrh, items that were highly sought after and essential for various rituals and daily life. These goods were super popular in the ancient world, making the Nabateans incredibly influential and wealthy. This trade made them very wealthy, allowing them to build impressive cities and monuments, the most famous being Petra, carved into the cliffs. The Nabateans were also skilled negotiators, adept at keeping peace with different empires and ensuring the safety of their trade routes. This made them important players in the region's trade, acting as intermediaries between various cultures and economies. Even today, historians and archaeologists are fascinated by their legacy as desert traders, uncovering new insights into their sophisticated society and enduring influence. The beginnings of the Nabateans are still a bit of a mystery. Their early history is shrouded in the sands of time, leaving much to the imagination and the diligent work of archaeologists. Scholars who are like history detectives believe they were a nomadic Arab people who journeyed from the Arabian Peninsula around the 6th century BC. These scholars piece together clues from ancient texts and artifacts to form a picture of the Nabateans' early days. They settled in what we now know as Jordan, southern Syria, and northwestern Saudi Arabia. This region, with its rugged terrain and strategic location, became the heart of their civilization. Living in this tough desert environment shaped their culture, making them experts at saving water. The harsh conditions of the desert demanded ingenuity and resilience, qualities that the Nabateans possessed in abundance. They came up with clever ways to collect and store water, which helped them thrive in this unforgiving landscape. Their advanced water management systems, including cisterns and rock-cut channels, were marvels of engineering. The name Nabatean might come from the Arabic word nabat, meaning to spring up or grow, which makes sense considering how they flourished in a dry environment. Their ability to adapt and grow in such a harsh climate is a testament to their resourcefulness. The Nabateans left behind a rich cultural legacy, and their impact on the region is still visible today. From the majestic ruins of Petra to the ancient inscriptions that tell their story, the Nabateans continue to captivate our imagination and inspire awe. The Nabateans were known for their advanced and fair society. Unlike many ancient civilizations, they didn't believe in slavery. They believed in working together and sharing responsibility, valuing equality and fairness. The Nabateans were ruled by a royal family, but their system wasn't like a monarchy where the king has absolute power. The king had advisors and a council to give him advice, which suggests a kind of democracy in their government. This focus on justice and collaboration made them successful, creating a strong sense of community. It helped them manage their trade networks and maintain stability for centuries. Their societal structure shows us their progressive values. The Nabateans believed in many gods and goddesses, often connected to nature. They respected the power of the sun, mountains and water. Dushara, the god of the mountains, was their main god, and they also worshipped Alat, a goddess of fertility and prosperity. The Nabateans included elements of other cultures in their religious practices, reflecting their interactions with different civilizations through trade. They considered certain places sacred, building impressive temples and high places for worship. These structures, often carved directly into sandstone cliffs, show off their amazing architectural skills. Their religious beliefs played a big part in their culture and art. The Nabatean kingdom was in a very strategic location, nestled in the heart of the ancient world. They lived in a region that is now Jordan, southern Syria, and parts of Saudi Arabia, a vast and diverse landscape that offered both challenges and opportunities. Their territory included important trade routes, which were the lifeblood of their economy and culture. These routes crossed the Arabian Peninsula and connected to the Mediterranean Sea, facilitating the exchange of goods, ideas and cultures. This strategic location was really important for their economic success, allowing them to become a central hub in the ancient world. It allowed them to control the flow of goods between the East and the West, making them indispensable to traders and merchants. The Nabateans were skilled diplomats, adept at negotiating and maintaining alliances. They maintained peaceful relationships with their neighbours, ensuring stability and prosperity within their borders. This allowed them to focus on trade and development, building a robust economy and sophisticated infrastructure. They built a network of impressive cities, with Petra being the crown jewel, showcasing their architectural prowess. These cities thrived as centres of commerce and culture, attracting people from all over the ancient world. Their ability to thrive in a challenging environment is a testament to their adaptability and ingenuity, leaving a legacy that continues to inspire to this day. The Nabateans were masters of trade. They dominated the lucrative incense route. This route brought frankincense, myrrh and spices from southern Arabia to the Mediterranean. These commodities were highly prized in the ancient world. They were used in religious ceremonies, perfumes and medicines. The Nabateans transported these goods across vast deserts using camel caravans. Their knowledge of the desert and its oases was unparalleled. They developed sophisticated systems for navigation and water conservation. This allowed them to cross vast distances and endure harsh conditions. Their control of the incense route brought them immense wealth and influence. They became key players in the ancient world's economy. The Nabateans are perhaps best known for their capital city, Petra. This magnificent city, located in Jordan, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Petra is renowned for its awe-inspiring rock-cut architecture. The city is carved directly into towering sandstone cliffs. The most iconic structure in Petra is the treasury. This elaborate facade, carved into the cliff face, is a testament to the Nabateans' architectural genius. It served as a royal tomb. Petra was more than just a city. It was a symbol of Nabatean wealth and power. It showcased their mastery of engineering and art. The Nabateans lived in a complex geopolitical landscape. They interacted with powerful empires like the Ptolemies of Egypt and the Seleucids of Syria. The Nabateans were skilled diplomats. They formed alliances and negotiated their independence. They successfully defended their territory against invasions. They demonstrated their military prowess. In 106 AD, the Roman Empire annexed the Nabatean kingdom. Petra became part of the Roman province of Arabia Petrea. Despite Roman rule, the Nabateans' cultural influence persisted. Their architectural style continued to flourish. The Nabatean kingdom may have fallen to the Romans. However, their legacy continues to resonate today. Their impressive architectural achievements, particularly Petra, continue to inspire awe and wonder. Their innovative water management systems are still studied by modern engineers. The Nabateans made significant contributions to art, language and culture. They developed a distinctive script. This script influenced the development of the Arabic alphabet. Their artistic motifs, blending Eastern and Western influences, reflect their cosmopolitan nature. The Nabateans were a remarkable civilization. They thrived in a challenging environment. They built a prosperous kingdom on trade and innovation. Their story is a testament to human ingenuity and resilience. Their legacy continues to enrich our understanding of the ancient world. France in the late 18th century was a nation ablaze with revolution and ambition. The streets of Paris echoed with the cries of liberty, equality and fraternity as the old order was dismantled and a new era began to take shape. The French Revolution had reshaped the political landscape, toppling monarchies and challenging the very foundations of European society. It was a time of great upheaval and even greater possibilities. Amidst this chaos, a young general named Napoleon Bonaparte was rising to prominence. His military prowess and strategic genius were quickly becoming the stuff of legend. His eyes were set on glory, and his gaze fell upon the ancient land of Egypt. To him, Egypt was not just a distant land, but a gateway to immortality.
Egypt, once a cradle of civilization, is now a strategic prize. Its location at the crossroads of Africa and Asia made it a key to controlling trade routes and exerting influence over the region. It holds the promise of disrupting British trade routes to India and expanding French influence. Control over Egypt could shift the balance of power in Europe.
Napoleon, however, saw beyond the geopolitical chessboard. He was not just a soldier, he was a visionary. He was captivated by the stories of Egypt's glorious past. The land of the pharaohs, with its pyramids and ancient mysteries, called to him like a siren song. The pharaohs, the pyramids, the mysteries of a lost civilization, these ignited a fire in his imagination. He dreamed of uncovering the secrets that had been buried for millennia.
Not just as a conqueror, but as a patron of knowledge, a beacon of enlightenment in a world shrouded in darkness. Uncovering the secrets buried beneath the sands. The treasures of Egypt were not just gold and jewels, but the wisdom of an ancient civilization.
In 1798, Napoleon embarked on his Egyptian expedition. It was a bold and audacious move, one that would test his leadership and vision. He carried with him not just the might of the French army, but the hopes and dreams of a nation, but also a contingent of scholars, scientists and artists. This was no ordinary military campaign, it was a quest for knowledge. This was a dual mission, to conquer Egypt and to unravel its ancient mysteries. The expedition was as much about discovery as it was about domination.
The expedition resonates with the spirit of the Enlightenment. It was a time when reason and science were seen as the keys to unlocking the mysteries of the world. Europe is in the throes of intellectual curiosity, eager to rediscover its classical past. The scholars who accompanied Napoleon were driven by a thirst for knowledge, eager to rediscover its classical past. They sought to bring the light of understanding to the dark corners of history. Egypt, with its ancient civilization and enigmatic monuments, holds an irresistible allure. It was a land of wonder and mystery, waiting to be explored.
The expedition was a testament to Napoleon's belief in the power of knowledge, even as he waged war. He saw himself as a bridge between the past and the future, even as he waged war. The battles fought in the sands of Egypt were not just for territory, but for the soul of a civilization. He saw the conquest of Egypt not just as a military objective, but as an opportunity to advance human understanding. It was a chance to rewrite history. Little did he know that his expedition would spark a global fascination with ancient Egypt, igniting a passion that would span centuries, giving birth to the field of Egyptology. Scholars from around the world would flock to Egypt, drawn by the allure of its ancient secrets, and forever changing our understanding of this ancient civilization. The legacy of Napoleon's Egyptian expedition is one of discovery, knowledge, and an unending quest for the truth. Napoleon's armada set sail from Toulon harbour, its destination the shores of Egypt. This ambitious expedition was not just a military endeavour, but a grand vision of conquest and enlightenment. The ships were laden not only with soldiers and weaponry, but also with scientific instruments, books and art supplies. Napoleon envisioned a new era of discovery, where the might of the French military would be complemented by the intellectual prowess of its scholars. The French troops landed in Alexandria in July 1798, quickly overwhelming the city's defences. The initial success was a testament to the meticulous planning and sheer force of Napoleon's army.
Promising to free the Egyptians from Ottoman rule, my words were meant to inspire and win the hearts of the local population, portraying the French as their saviors.
His words, however, rang hollow as the French army advanced southwards, leaving behind a trail of destruction. Villages were razed and the local populace suffered under the harsh realities of war. The Battle of the Pyramids, fought on the outskirts of Cairo, was a testament to French military might. The sight of the ancient pyramids standing witness to the clash of modern armies was both awe-inspiring and tragic. The Mamluk cavalry, though renowned for their prowess, was no match for the disciplined volleys of the French infantry. The battle showcased the superiority of French tactics and the devastating effectiveness of their firepower. Cairo fell into French hands, and with it, control of the Nile Delta. This strategic victory allowed the French to establish a foothold in Egypt, but it also marked the beginning of a prolonged and arduous campaign. But the conquest was far from over. The French faced continuous resistance from local forces and the looming threat of foreign intervention. The British Navy, sensing a threat to their interests in the region, engaged the French fleet at the Battle of the Nile. This confrontation would prove to be a pivotal moment in the campaign. The French, caught unawares in Aboukir Bay, suffered a crushing defeat. The loss of their fleet was a devastating blow, isolating Napoleon's forces in a hostile land. This naval disaster effectively stranded Napoleon's army in Egypt, cutting off their supply lines and reinforcements. The French soldiers, now isolated, had to rely on their resourcefulness and resilience to survive. The siege of Acre, however, proved to be a turning point. The Ottoman defenders, backed by British naval support, repelled repeated French assaults. The fortifications of Acre stood strong against the relentless French attacks. Napoleon, facing mounting casualties and news of unrest back in France, was forced to abandon the siege. The dream of a swift and glorious conquest was slipping away. His dreams of conquering the East lay shattered. The once ambitious campaign had turned into a struggle for survival and a race against time. His Egyptian adventure, though ultimately a military failure, had planted the seeds for something far greater, a renaissance in the study of ancient Egypt. The scholars who accompanied the expedition made groundbreaking discoveries, uncovering the mysteries of a civilization long forgotten. Among these discoveries was the Rosetta Stone, a key to unlocking the secrets of Egyptian hieroglyphics. This artifact would become one of the most important tools in the study of ancient languages and cultures. The work of these scholars culminated in the monumental Description de l'Égypte, a comprehensive record of the expedition's findings. This publication would inspire generations of historians, archaeologists, and Egyptologists. Today, the legacy of Napoleon's Egyptian campaign lives on in the continued fascination with ancient Egypt. The treasures uncovered and the knowledge gained have left an indelible mark on our understanding of history. Napoleon's invasion of Egypt, though driven by imperial ambitions, also marked the beginning of a new era of intellectual exploration. This campaign was not just about territorial conquest, it was also about the conquest of knowledge. Alongside his soldiers, Napoleon brought with him a carefully selected group of over 160 scholars, scientists, artists, and engineers. These individuals were not mere observers. They were active participants in a grand experiment to uncover the secrets of an ancient civilization. This group, known as the Commission of the Sciences and Arts of Egypt, was tasked with a unique mission to systematically study and document the ancient civilization they were conquering. Their work would go on to influence generations of historians, archaeologists, and scholars, meticulously recording their observations of ancient monuments, deciphering hieroglyphs, and studying local customs. Their efforts were not limited to grand temples and pyramids. They also documented everyday life, providing a comprehensive picture of Egyptian society. Their work, conducted amidst the chaos of war, laid the foundation for our modern understanding of ancient Egypt. Despite the constant threat of conflict, these scholars remained focused on their mission, driven by a passion for discovery. For the first time, Europe was getting a glimpse of Egypt not through the distorted lens of myth and legend, but through the objective eyes of science. This shift in perspective was revolutionary, challenging long-held beliefs and sparking a new era of Egyptology. These scholars, driven by a thirst for knowledge, braved the scorching desert heat, the threat of disease, and the constant dangers of war. Their resilience and dedication were remarkable as they navigated both the physical and intellectual challenges of their work. Their dedication to their task, even as battles raged around them, stands as a testament to the enduring power of human curiosity. They were not deterred by the chaos around them. Instead, they used it as a backdrop for their groundbreaking research. The ancient Egyptians were masters of symbolism, and their clothing was no exception. Every garment, from the simplest loincloth to the most elaborate headdress, told a story. These stories spoke of social standing, religious beliefs, and even personal style. Join us on a journey through the sands of time as we uncover the fascinating world of ancient Egyptian fashion. From the bustling workshops of weavers to the dazzling courts of pharaohs, we'll explore how clothes were made, worn, and imbued with meaning. We'll see how linen, the fabric of ancient Egypt, was transformed from humble flax plants into garments fit for kings and queens. And we'll discover how jewellery, adorned with powerful symbols, served as both decoration and spiritual armour. This is the story of ancient Egyptian fashion, a tale woven into the very fabric of their civilization. It's a story of innovation, artistry, and the enduring power of clothing to express the human experience. So let us step back in time and delve into a world where garments were more than just clothes. They were statements of identity, status, and belief. The lifeblood of ancient Egyptian fashion flowed from a single remarkable plant, flax. From this humble source sprang linen, the fabric that clothed everyone from pharaohs to peasants. Cultivated along the fertile banks of the Nile, flax thrived in the Egyptian climate. Its long, sturdy fibres were ideal for spinning into thread, which was then woven into linen cloth. The production of linen was a labour-intensive process, often carried out by women. They would first harvest the flax by hand, then soak it in water to soften the fibres. Next, they would beat and comb the flax to separate the fibres, which were then spun into thread using a drop spindle. This thread was then woven into cloth on a loom, a process that required skill and patience. The quality of the linen varied depending on the fineness of the thread and the tightness of the weave. The finest linen, reserved for the elite, was incredibly soft and sheer, while coarser linen was used for everyday garments. Linen was perfectly suited to the hot Egyptian climate. Its lightweight, breathable nature helped people stay cool in the scorching sun. Moreover, linen's durability made it ideal for garments that would be worn and washed repeatedly. In a land where practicality and comfort were paramount, linen reigned supreme. In ancient Egypt, your clothing spoke volumes before you uttered a single word. Garments were not merely a matter of personal taste, they were powerful indicators of social standing. From the rough linen of slaves to the shimmering finery of pharaohs, clothing served as a visual shorthand for one's place in the intricate tapestry of Egyptian society. At the bottom of the social ladder, slaves and peasants wore the simplest of garments. Men typically donned a short kilt known as a shenti, which was a rectangular piece of linen wrapped around the hips and tied at the waist. Women wore a simple, straight dress called a calasiris, often made from coarse linen and held up by one or two straps. Nobles, on the other hand, enjoyed a far more luxurious wardrobe. Their linen was of a finer quality, often bleached to a brilliant white or dyed in vibrant hues. Men's kilts became longer and more elaborate, sometimes pleated or adorned with decorative panels. Women's calasiris were also more ornate, featuring intricate pleating, beading, and even embroidery. At the pinnacle of Egyptian society stood the pharaoh, whose clothing was a dazzling display of wealth and power. Pharaohs donned the finest linen garments, often embellished with gold thread, precious stones, and intricate embroidery. Their regalia included elaborate headdresses, jeweled collars, and even leopard skins, a symbol of their divine status. Clothing in ancient Egypt was more than just fabric and thread. It was a language of power woven into the very fabric of their society. From the humblest peasant to the mighty pharaoh, each garment told a story of social standing and the intricate web of relationships that defined life in ancient Egypt. Jewelry in ancient Egypt was more than just decorative. It held significant cultural and spiritual meaning. Both men and women adorned themselves with a variety of pieces, from rings and bracelets to necklaces and earrings. Gold was the most prized material, believed to be the flesh of the gods. Precious stones like turquoise, lapis lazuli and carnelian were commonly used, each carrying its own symbolism and protective properties. The Egyptians believed that jewelry could protect them from evil spirits and bring good fortune. Amulets, often shaped like animals or symbols, were particularly popular for their supposed magical powers. Even in death, Egyptians were buried with their jewelry, ensuring they would be well equipped in the afterlife. The craftsmanship of these pieces was exquisite, showcasing the skill and artistry of ancient Egyptian jewelers. So, in essence, jewelry in ancient Egypt was a blend of beauty, belief and protection, deeply intertwined with their daily lives and spiritual practices. The royal attire of ancient Egypt was, well, nothing short of magnificent. Pharaohs and queens adorned themselves in the finest linens, often dyed in vibrant colours. Their garments were elaborately pleated and sometimes even embroidered with gold thread. Accessories were equally opulent. Crowns, headdresses, and an array of jewellery, including broad collars, bracelets and anklets, signified their divine status and immense wealth. These items were not just for show. They were symbols of power and protection, believed to have magical properties. Children in ancient Egypt typically wore simple clothing, often just a basic tunic or a loincloth. As they grew older, their attire became more elaborate, mirroring adult fashion. Adornments for children included small amulets and jewellery, believed to offer protection from harm and evil spirits. Interestingly, both boys and girls wore their hair in a distinctive sidelock, a style that denoted their youth. As with adults, the materials and designs of children's clothing and accessories varied according to their family's social status. Hairstyles in ancient Egypt were quite elaborate, often involving wigs made of human hair or plant fibres. Both men and women took great care in their appearance, using a variety of oils and perfumes to maintain their hair and skin. Makeup was essential, with kohl used to line the eyes, not just for beauty, but also to protect against the harsh sun. Footwear, on the other hand, was relatively simple. Most people went barefoot, but sandals made of papyrus or leather were worn by those who could afford them, especially during special occasions or ceremonies. The fashion of ancient Egypt has left an enduring legacy that continues to influence modern design. The elegance of their linen garments, the intricate jewellery and the symbolic use of colour and form have inspired countless designers over the centuries. Today, elements of Egyptian fashion can be seen in haute couture, jewellery design and even in everyday clothing. The timeless appeal of their aesthetic, rooted in both beauty and symbolism, ensures that the legacy of Egyptian fashion will never fade away. Imagine an endless sandy expanse, suddenly interrupted by a stream of vitality teeming with life. This is the Nile, the vital essence of ancient Egypt. In the northeastern corner of Africa, a civilization ascended from the sands, taming the harsh environment and etching its story into history. This was ancient Egypt, a civilization that spanned over 3,000 years, from around 3100 BC to the descent of the last pharaoh, Cleopatra, in 30 BC. At its heart flowed a river like no other. The Nile, the longest river in the world, stretched over 4,000 miles, its waters flowing northward from the highlands of East Africa through the Sahara to the Mediterranean Sea. But what set the Nile apart was not its length, but its role in shaping a civilization. For the ancient Egyptians, the Nile was more than a river. It was a lifeline. It was a god. It was the pulse of a civilization that would leave an indelible mark on the world. In a land dominated by arid desert, the Nile was a lifeline, a verdant strip of land on either side of the river. The Nile Valley was a haven of fertility. Here, the ancient Egyptians grew their crops, built their cities, and buried their dead. The contrast was stark, a stream of vitality surrounded by a sea of sand, life flourishing amidst sterility. The Nile was not just a provider, but also a pathfinder. It was the highway that connected Upper Egypt in the south, with its rocky cliffs and ancient tombs, to Lower Egypt in the north, with its fertile delta and bustling cities. It was the artery that pumped life into the heart of ancient Egypt, a constant, reliable presence that dictated the rhythms of daily life and the cycles of the seasons. Thus begins the tale of the Nile, a tale intertwined with the ascend and descend of one of the world's most intriguing civilizations. What was it about the Nile that made it so pivotal to ancient Egypt? It was, in the words of the Greek historian Herodotus, the gift of the Nile. Let's delve into the heart of this gift, the annual flooding of the Nile, a natural phenomenon that was as reliable as the sunrise. This predictable inundation was nothing short of a miracle for the ancient Egyptians. The floodwaters, carrying rich, fertile silt from the heart of Africa, spread across the plains, replenishing the soil and transforming the arid landscape into a verdant paradise. With this rich black silt, the Egyptians found the perfect canvas for agriculture. They cultivated wheat, flax and papyrus, harnessing the bounty of the Nile to sustain and grow their population. It was this life-giving soil that allowed them to develop surplus, a key factor in the rise of complex societies. Imagine, if you will, the scene of ancient farmers hunched over in the fields under the scorching sun, their sweat mixing with the fertile mud of the Nile. They are not merely tilling the soil, they are shaping the very foundations of one of the world's earliest and greatest civilizations. The Nile's predictability allowed the Egyptians not just to survive, but to thrive. They developed a calendar based on the river's cycles, and by predicting the floods, they could plan their planting and harvesting around it. This understanding of the river's rhythms led to advancements in technology and the establishment of a stable economy. But the Nile was not merely a source of physical sustenance. It was, in every sense, a life force, a deity to be revered and worshipped. It was the heart of their spiritual beliefs, the wellspring of their mythology, and the inspiration for their awe-inspiring architecture and art. The Nile, then, was not just a river, but the very foundation upon which the grand edifice of ancient Egypt was built. The river's gift was not just water, but civilization itself, a testament to the power and the potential that lay in the harnessing of nature's bounty. Beyond its agricultural bounty, the Nile served as the superhighway of ancient Egypt. This mighty river was not just a source of life, but also a path that carved its way through the desert, the heartline of a civilization. The Nile, flowing from the south to the north, was a natural transportation route. It was the lifeblood of Egypt, a highway that moved people, goods and ideas. Imagine, if you will, the hundreds of boats that would have dotted its expanse, carrying everything from grain and gold to stone and stories. Trade was the lifeblood of any ancient society, and Egypt was no different. The Nile played a pivotal role in this, providing a route for the exchange of goods. Boats laden with wheat from the fertile fields of the delta would make their way to the markets of Upper Egypt, while those from the south would carry gold and precious stones. The river was a bustling marketplace, a conduit for economic prosperity. But it wasn't just trade that the Nile facilitated. Communication, too, was carried along its waters. Messages from the pharaoh would be dispatched up and down the river, ensuring the kingdom's orders were heard far and wide. It connected cities, towns, and people, knitting together the fabric of the ancient civilization. Moreover, the Nile was also a strategic military route. Expeditions would set sail from its banks, venturing into unknown territories, defending the kingdom's borders, or sometimes expanding them. The Nile was a witness to countless tales of valor and victory, of ancient Egypt's might and majesty. The river's significance was such that it fostered the development of remarkable navigation skills and the construction of advanced boats. From simple reed rafts to grand royal barges, the evolution of Egyptian naval technology is a testament to the Nile's importance. In the vast desert of Egypt, the Nile was the bustling highway, the conduit that connected a civilization. It was more than just a river. It was the artery of life, the road of a nation, the highway of a people's history. The Nile was not just a physical entity to the ancient Egyptians, it was a spiritual river, an integral part of their religious beliefs. This mighty river wasn't simply seen as a water source, but rather a divine entity, a god that breathed life into the land and its people. The Nile was personified as the god Hapi, the lord of the fishes and birds of the marshes, symbolizing fertility and life. Hapi was revered and worshipped. His blessings sought to ensure the river's annual flooding, bringing with it the rich, fertile soil that sustained the kingdom. The river's cyclical flooding echoed the cycle of life and death, a rhythm deeply ingrained in the spirituality of ancient Egypt. This natural phenomenon became a divine event in their eyes, a testament to their god's grace and benevolence. The river was the stage for numerous myths and rituals, its banks hosting ceremonies that paid homage to its sacred attributes. One such tale was the myth of Osiris, the god of the afterlife, the underworld, and rebirth. His body, torn into pieces by his brother Seth, was said to have been scattered across the Nile, making the river a symbol of rebirth and eternal life. This tale was central to the ancient Egyptians' belief in the afterlife, further elevating the Nile's spiritual significance. The river was also a sacred pathway, a celestial river that mirrored the Milky Way, guiding the pharaohs to the afterlife. The importance of this belief was reflected in the construction of the royal tombs and pyramids, aligning them with the river, the celestial bodies, and the cardinal points, a testament to the Nile's role as a spiritual guide. The Nile was more than a river. It was a deity, a provider, a life-giver, a spiritual guide, and a pathway to the afterlife. It was the heartbeat of the civilization, pulsating with the rhythms of daily life and the cycles of the seasons. To the ancient Egyptians, the Nile was a divine gift, a river of life and death, a deity to be revered and appeased. The Nile, with its gifts of fertility, transportation, and spiritual significance, left a lasting legacy on ancient Egypt. The Nile River's influence on ancient Egypt was far-reaching, coloring every aspect of life and shaping a civilization that stands as a marvel of human history. Its life-giving waters were the canvas upon which the Egyptians painted their culture, their art, their science, and their architecture. In art, the Nile was a muse, its winding path, teeming wildlife, and fertile banks inspiring countless works of art. It was the backdrop of many tales, with its gods and goddesses playing pivotal roles in Egyptian mythology. The river's annual flooding, a symbol of rebirth, was immortalized in many artistic forms, from sculpture to hieroglyphics. The Nile's importance was also evident in architecture. The river's mud was used to create the bricks for buildings, while its stones were quarried for monuments and temples. The alignment of these structures often followed the river's path, showing how the Nile guided the Egyptians not just in their daily lives, but also in their monumental endeavors. In the realm of science, the Nile was a natural laboratory. The river's predictable cycles led to the development of one of the world's first calendars. Its fauna and flora were subjects of study, leading to advancements in botany and zoology. The need to manage its waters resulted in groundbreaking engineering feats, such as the construction of dams and canals. Culturally, the Nile shaped the Egyptians' worldview. It shaped their social structures, with those living along its banks forming the backbone of Egyptian society. It influenced their religious beliefs, with the river itself being revered as a deity. Today, the Nile continues to hold a central place in Egyptian life, its waters still nurturing the land and its people. The river's legacy lives on, not just in the monuments and artifacts that dot its banks, but also in the hearts and minds of the Egyptians who continue to draw inspiration from its timeless allure. From the dawn of civilization to the present day, the Nile remains the lifeblood of Egypt, a testament to its timeless allure and enduring legacy. Karnak Temple is a vast temple complex in Egypt, renowned for its immense size and historical significance. It is located on the east bank of the Nile River, which has been a lifeline for civilizations for millennia. Karnak is near the modern city of Luxor, a bustling urban centre that blends ancient history with contemporary life. This ancient site was once the city of Thebes, the capital of ancient Egypt during its New Kingdom period. The temple complex is a marvel of ancient architecture, showcasing the ingenuity and craftsmanship of the ancient Egyptians. It is a testament to the power and artistry of the pharaohs, who commissioned grand structures to honor their gods and themselves. Karnak was built and expanded over many centuries, with each pharaoh adding their own touch to the sprawling complex. It is a place of pilgrimage and worship for over 2,000 years, drawing people from all over to pay homage to the gods. The complex is a vast open-air museum, offering a unique glimpse into the religious and cultural practices of ancient Egypt. It is a treasure trove of ancient Egyptian art and architecture, with intricate carvings and monumental statues. Visitors can explore the many temples, chapels and monuments, each with its own story and historical significance. Karnak is a window into the past, offering insights into the religious, political and social life of ancient Egypt. It is a reminder of the grandeur and sophistication of ancient Egyptian civilization, a civilization that has left an indelible mark on history. Thebes was one of the most important cities in ancient Egypt, known for its grandeur and historical significance. It was the capital of Egypt for many centuries, serving as the heart of the nation during the Middle and New Kingdoms. Thebes was a centre of political, religious and economic power, influencing the entire region with its wealth and culture. The city was dedicated to the god Amun-Re, who was considered the supreme deity in the Egyptian pantheon. He was the king of the gods, often depicted with a ram's head or as a man wearing a double-plumed crown. Thebes was also home to the goddess Mut, who was revered as the mother goddess and a symbol of motherhood and fertility. She was the consort of Amun-Re, and together they were worshipped as a divine couple. Their son, Khonsu, was the moon god, associated with time and healing. Together they formed the Theban triad, a powerful trio that was central to the religious life of Thebes. They were worshipped at Karnak, one of the largest and most significant temple complexes in ancient Egypt. The temple complex at Karnak was a reflection of Thebes's importance, showcasing its architectural and artistic achievements. It was a place where the pharaohs could honor the gods, performing rituals and ceremonies to gain their favor. The pharaohs built temples and monuments at Karnak, each adding to the splendor of the complex. They wanted to show their devotion to the gods, ensuring their legacy and divine support. The temple complex grew in size and grandeur over time, with each pharaoh contributing to its expansion. It became a symbol of the power and wealth of Egypt, standing as a testament to the civilization's achievements and religious devotion. Construction at Karnak began during the Middle Kingdom. This was around 2055 to 1650 BC. However, it was during the New Kingdom that Karnak truly flourished. This period was from 1550 to 1069 BC. The New Kingdom was a time of great prosperity and power for Egypt. The pharaohs of the New Kingdom were ambitious builders. They wanted to leave their mark on Egypt. They expanded the temple complex at Karnak. They added new temples, chapels, and monuments. Each pharaoh tried to outdo his predecessor. They wanted to create the most impressive structures. The result is a complex that is both awe-inspiring and bewildering in its scale. One of the most prolific builders at Karnak was the female pharaoh Hatshepsut. She ruled Egypt from 1478 to 1458 BC. Hatshepsut was a powerful and ambitious ruler. She commissioned many impressive building projects at Karnak. Hatshepsut's most famous contribution to Karnak is her Red Chapel. This is a small but perfectly proportioned shrine. It's made of red quartzite. The Red Chapel was once adorned with brilliant reliefs. It is a testament to Hatshepsut's artistry and her devotion to the gods. Hatshepsut also erected two massive obelisks at Karnak. These towering monuments were once the tallest structures in the world. They are a symbol of Hatshepsut's power and ambition. The Great Hypostyle Hall is one of the most impressive structures at Karnak. This architectural marvel stands as a testament to the ingenuity and ambition of ancient Egyptian builders. It is a massive hall supported by 134 columns, each one towering over visitors and creating a forest of stone that stretches towards the sky. The hall covers an area of 5,000 square meters, making it one of the largest religious spaces ever constructed in the ancient world. It is big enough to hold 10 cathedrals, a fact that underscores its immense scale and the grandeur of its design. The hypostyle hall was built by the pharaoh Seti I, who initiated its construction as part of his grand vision for the Karnak temple complex. He ruled Egypt from 1290 to 1279 BC, a period marked by significant architectural and cultural achievements. Seti I's son, Ramesses II, completed the hall, continuing his father's legacy and adding his own touches to the monumental structure. The hall is a masterpiece of engineering and artistry, showcasing the advanced techniques and artistic skills of ancient Egyptian craftsmen. The columns are decorated with intricate carvings, depicting scenes of gods, pharaohs, and religious rituals that tell the story of ancient Egypt. The Great Hypostyle Hall was used for religious ceremonies, serving as a sacred space where priests conducted rituals and offerings to the gods. It was a place where the pharaoh could commune with the gods, reinforcing his divine right to rule and his connection to the divine. The hall is a testament to the power and grandeur of the New Kingdom, reflecting the might and religious devotion of the pharaohs who built it. Section 6. The Temple's Later Years. The New Kingdom came to an end around 1069 BC. Egypt entered a period of decline. The temple complex at Karnak was still used for religious purposes. However, it was no longer expanded or embellished. In later centuries, Karnak was occupied by the Romans. They added their own touches to the complex. They built a temple to the god Jupiter. The Romans also converted some of the existing temples into churches. After the fall of the Roman Empire, Karnak was abandoned. It fell into ruin. The desert sands slowly buried the temple complex. Rediscovering a lost world. For centuries, Karnak lay forgotten. The local people knew of its existence. However, the outside world had no idea of its scale or grandeur. In the 18th century, European explorers began to rediscover the wonders of ancient Egypt. In 1798, Napoleon Bonaparte launched his expedition to Egypt. He brought with him a team of scholars and scientists. They were tasked with documenting the ancient monuments of Egypt. The team produced detailed drawings and descriptions of Karnak. These publications helped to spark a wave of interest in ancient Egypt. In the 19th century, archaeologists began to excavate Karnak in earnest. They uncovered the temple complex. Karnak, a World Heritage Site. Today, Karnak is one of the most popular tourist destinations in Egypt. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The complex is visited by millions of people every year. Karnak is an important site for archaeologists and historians. It is a rich source of information about ancient Egyptian culture and religion. Archaeologists are still excavating Karnak. They're making new discoveries all the time. The Karnak Temple complex is a timeless wonder. It is a testament to the ingenuity, artistry, and devotion of the ancient Egyptians. Karnak is a place of pilgrimage, worship, and wonder for over 2,000 years. It continues to inspire us today. As the sun sets over Karnak, it casts long shadows over the ancient stones. It is a reminder of the passage of time. Karnak is a place where the past feels very much alive. It is a place where we can connect with the ancient world.